You know the worst part about being a loser? It's not the failure. It's not the embarrassment. It's not even the loneliness. It's the fact that deep down, you already know. You know when you look in the mirror too long. You know when motivation videos end and you go back to scrolling. You know when your life feels heavy, because nothing about it is disciplined, intentional, or real. Most people are not destroyed by tragedy. They are destroyed by comfort. Slowly, quietly, daily. A loser is not someone who fails. A loser is someone who refuses to confront reality. And modern society has perfected the art of keeping people distracted, weak, entertained, overstimulated, emotional, dependent, and mediocre. Because weak people are easier to control. Hello, beautiful thinkers. Welcome back to our Thinking Lab, the only channel where science, ancient wisdom, stoicism, and biblical insight come together to elevate the way you think, live, and lead your life. Today's episode is a very sensitive and explosive topic. You are a loser. We are talking about you. Stay tuned in because I included 5 simple and practical solutions you can apply right now. So let's get started. Chapter 1. The Loser Loop. The loser loop is the psychological cycle where a person repeatedly chooses relationships, habits, or environments that lower their standards, self-worth, and identity, even when they consciously want better. It's the downward version of the attraction loop. Instead of repeating what's familiar, you repeat what confirms your lowest beliefs about yourself. It's the loop that makes you shrink, settle, tolerate, and become smaller in order to be chosen. 1. Psychology, the identity behavior feedback trap. The loser. Loop begins when your self-concept is lower than your potential. Psychology calls this self-verification theory. You unconsciously seek people and situations that confirm what you already believe about yourself, even if those beliefs are negative. So if you secretly believe the following: I'm not that special. I'm hard to love. I should be grateful for any attention. You will choose people who treat you accordingly. Your brain prefers consistency over elevation. It would rather be right than be happy. This creates the loops such as low internal belief, low quality choice, low quality treatment, reinforced low belief. Repeat. This is why the loser loop feels like gravity. It pulls you down to the level of your unhealed identity. 2. Neuroscience. The dopamine-cortisol addiction cycle. The loser loop is chemically reinforced. When someone gives you inconsistent affection, your brain releases the following: dopamine when they show interest and cortisol when they withdraw. This unpredictable pattern creates addictive bonding. The same mechanism as slot machines. Your brain becomes hooked on the hope of reward, not the reality of the relationship. This is why you stay longer than you should. This is why you tolerate more than you deserve. This is why you loosen your standards to keep the hit coming. Your nervous system becomes addicted to the emotional roller coaster. 3. Ancient wisdom, the law of descent. Ancient philosophies warned about this loop long before psychology named it. According to Stoicism, Epictetus taught that you become what you repeatedly tolerate. If you tolerate disrespect, you train your soul to accept it. According to Buddhist and Taoist teachings, attachment to suffering is a form of ego. You cling to what hurts because it feels familiar, controllable, predictable. According to Hermetic principle, as within, so without. Your outer relationships mirror your inner beliefs. If your inner world is disordered, your outer world will match it. The loser loop is simply the ancient principle of downward alignment, which is the pattern of lowering your standards, identity, and behavior to match environments, relationships, or habits that sit beneath your potential. Instead of rising to who you're becoming, you shrink to fit what's familiar, even when it costs you clarity, confidence, and self-respect. 4. Biblical insight, the pattern of shrinking. Scripture describes the loser loop as the pattern of diminishing yourself to fit into places God never assigned you. 1 Samuel 15:17. Though you were little in your own eyes. Saul lost everything because he saw himself as small and made small decisions. Psalm 106. Israel mingled with the nations and learned their practices. They lowered their standards to match their environment. Proverbs 29:25. The fear of man brings a snare. When you want to be chosen, you become trapped. Romans 1. People exchanged the truth for a lie, a perfect description of the loser loop, trading your identity for temporary validation. Biblically, the loser loop is the spiritual pattern of shrinking instead of rising. Chapter 3. The core truth. The loser loop is not about weakness. It's about misalignment. Your behavior is trying to match an outdated version of you. The loser loop is the cycle where your unhealed identity chooses people who confirm your lower self-beliefs, and your brain rewards you for staying small. Most people live inside a psychological prison. The loser loop, such as wake up tired, check the phone, consume garbage, avoid responsibility, complain, escape reality, repeat, day after day, and then they wonder why life feels meaningless. Your habits reveal your identity, not your intentions, not your fantasies, and not your potential. Potential means nothing without execution. The modern loser has mastered one thing, that is self-deception. They say, I'm working on myself. I'm healing. I'm waiting for the right time. I just need motivation. Spoiler alert, no. You need discipline, because motivation is emotional, discipline is structural, and weak people build emotional lives instead of structured lives. That is why they collapse every time life becomes uncomfortable. Picture this. It's 2:13 a.m. Your room is dark except for the blue light from your phone. You promised yourself you'd change this week. Instead, you spent 6 hours scrolling through strangers, living better lives than yours. Your stomach is bloated. Your sleep schedule is destroyed. Your goals are untouched. And for a few seconds, the silence hits you. You realize nobody is coming to save you. Then you open another app to escape the feeling. That is the loser loop. Chapter 4. Comfort is making you weak. ThinkingLAB has a principle, reality over comfort. Weak people organize their lives around comfort. Strong people organize their lives around truth. Truth hurts. Truth exposes. Truth humiliates. But truth also transforms. Comfort is seductive because it removes friction, but friction builds strength. The gym hurts. Discipline hurts. Growth hurts. Accountability hurts. But staying weak hurts longer. Most people would rather protect their ego than improve their life. That is why they stay average forever. You cannot become powerful while worshipping comfort. And comfort today is endless like the following: cheap dopamine, food addiction, validation addiction, pornography, laziness, victim mentality, constant entertainment. Modern people are overstimulated and underdeveloped. They consume more than they create, and every year they become mentally softer. Picture this. Someone your age wakes up at 5 a.m. They train, they study, they build skills, they save money, they control their emotions. Meanwhile, you're lying in bed negotiating with an alarm clock. One life is being built, the other is being wasted. and both people think they have time. Chapter 5. Losers hate accountability. A loser always has an explanation, never responsibility. You blame it on the following. It's society, it's trauma, it's stress, it's bad luck, it's their parents, it's the economy, it's their ex. Listen carefully. Your pain may not be your fault, but your life is still your responsibility. That is internal truth, one of Thinking Lab's core pillars. Internal truth means stop lying to yourself. Your habits created your reality, not fate. Patterns create destiny, and losers repeat destructive patterns while pretending to be confused. You say you want confidence? Confidence is earned evidence, not affirmations. You earn confidence by doing difficult things repeatedly. That is why disciplined people walk differently, because they trust themselves. Weak people do not trust themselves. Why? Because they constantly break promises to themselves. Picture this. You tell yourself, tomorrow I'll start. But tomorrow comes, and you betray yourself again. After enough broken promises, you stop believing your own words. Now your mind becomes divided. One part dreams. The other part knows you won't do it. That internal fracture destroys self-respect. Chapter 6. The real reason nobody respects you. Respect is not demanded. It is earned and transmitted. People can feel weakness. They see it in the following: your posture, your speech, your inconsistency, your emotional instability, your lack of standards, and your desperate need for approval. Weak people want rewards without transformation, but life doesn't work that way. You want admiration. Become admirable. You want discipline. Stop negotiating with discomfort. You want power? Control yourself first, because self-control is the foundation of all status. A person who cannot control impulses becomes a slave to impulses, and slaves never become dangerous. Modern society rewards emotional weakness because emotional people consume more. But Thinking Lab was never built for consumers. It was built for observers, pattern recognizers, people willing to confront uncomfortable truths, people who are strong, people who are willing to change for the better. Chapter 7. 5. Simple and practical solutions you can apply today. Solution 1. Remove one major distraction. You do not need to fix your whole life overnight. Start by removing one thing destroying your focus. For example, delete the app, cut the addiction, reduce the noise. A clear mind creates momentum. Small discipline creates larger discipline. Why it works. 1. Your brain frees up bandwidth. Removing one major distraction instantly reduces cognitive load. Your mind becomes clearer, faster, and more decisive. 2. Your nervous system stabilizes. Without the dopamine cortisol roller coaster of inconsistency or chaos, your attention resets and your focus deepens. 3. Subtraction creates momentum. You grow more by removing what drains you than by adding more habits. One subtraction can unlock more progress than 10 additions. 4. Ancient wisdom favors removal. Across traditions, clarity comes from clearing space, not from piling on more effort. 5. God fills the space you clear. Breakthrough often follows reduction. Less noise, more alignment, more direction. Core truth. Your life accelerates the moment you remove what blocks your clarity, energy, and identity. Picture this. Your screen time report says 9 hours daily. That means you are spending over 130 full days every year staring at a screen. Your dreams are dying in exchange for stimulation. Solution 2. Build a non-negotiable morning. Your morning determines your mental direction. Wake up and immediately win something such as make the bed, train, read, walk, journal, sit in silence. Do not touch your phone first. Protect your mind before the world enters it. Why it works. 1. It stabilizes your brain before the world touches you. A consistent morning routine calms your nervous system, lowers cortisol, and gives your prefrontal cortex first access to your attention. Not your phone, not other people, not chaos. 2. It anchors your identity through repetition. Doing the same empowering actions every morning reinforces who you are, not who you're reacting to. Identity is built through rhythm, not motivation. 3. It removes decision fatigue. A non-negotiable morning eliminates early day choices, freeing your mental energy for higher value thinking later. 4. It creates momentum that compounds. When your first hour is intentional, the rest of the day follows its lead. Small wins early. Create a psychological upward spiral. 5. It aligns you spiritually and mentally. Across traditions, the morning is sacred, the time when clarity is highest and distractions are lowest. What you do first sets the tone for everything that follows. Core truth. A non-negotiable morning is not only about discipline, but also about directing your identity before the world has a chance to. Solution 3. Keep promises to yourself. Start microscopic if necessary, but finish what you start. If you say, I will walk for 20 minutes, then walk. Self-respect grows when your actions align with your words. Your brain watches everything you do. Every kept promise rebuilds identity. Why it works. 1. It builds self-trust. Every time you follow through, your brain learns, I can rely on myself. Self-trust is the foundation of confidence. 2. It rewires your identity. Small kept promises signal to your brain who you are becoming. Identity shifts through repetition, not inspiration. 3. It strengthens your discipline muscle. Consistency creates neural pathways that make future follow-through easier. Discipline becomes automatic, not forced. 4. It breaks the self-betrayal cycle. When you stop abandoning your own word, you stop tolerating people who do the same. 5. It raises your standards everywhere. The way you treat yourself becomes the template for how you allow others to treat you. Core truth. Keeping promises to yourself is how you become someone you respect, and someone others assuredly respect too. Solution 4. Learn to tolerate discomfort. Most weakness comes from discomfort avoidance. Train yourself to stay calm while uncomfortable. Try these: cold showers, difficult conversations, hard workouts, silence, discipline. Discomfort is not the enemy. It is the training ground. Why it works. 1. It strengthens your nervous system. When you stay present with discomfort instead of escaping it, your brain learns that the feeling isn't danger. Your stress response calms faster over time. 2. It expands your emotional capacity. Tolerating discomfort builds resilience. You stop breaking at the first sign of pressure and start responding with clarity instead of panic. 3. It rewires your habits. Most self-sabotage comes from avoiding discomfort. When you can sit with it, you stop running back to old patterns. 4. It upgrades your identity. Each time you stay with the hard thing, you prove to yourself, I can handle more than I thought. Confidence grows from evidence, not affirmations. 5. It aligns with ancient wisdom. Every tradition teaches that growth requires friction. Discomfort is the doorway to strength, clarity, and self-mastery. Core truth: discomfort is not the enemy. It's the training ground for the person you're becoming. Solution 5. Stop seeking constant validation. Losers need applause for everything. Strong people move quietly. Not everyone needs access to your goals. Build in silence. Let results speak. Because attention is addictive. And addicted people become manipulatable people. Why it works. 1. It restores your internal authority. When you stop outsourcing approval, your brain shifts from "do they think I'm enough?" to "do I think this is right for me?" Your self-worth becomes self-generated, not crowd-controlled. 2. It calms your nervous system. Constant validation seeking keeps you in a cortisol loop. Scanning, comparing, performing. Releasing that habit brings your body back to safety and clarity. 3. It strengthens identity. Validation seeking blurs who you are. When you stop chasing external signals, your true preferences, values, and standards become sharper. 4. It breaks people-pleasing patterns. You stop bending, shrinking, or overgiving to earn approval. Your relationships become healthier and more balanced. 5. It increases confidence through self-reference. Confidence grows when your decisions come from your own judgment, not from others' reactions. Core truth. You become powerful the moment your worth stops, depending on someone else's response. Picture this. 5 years from now, someone asks what happened to your dreams, and the only honest answer is, "I kept choosing comfort." That realization will crush more people than failure ever will. All right, drop it. What's the one loser habit you keep choosing even though you know it's ruining your potential? The thing you'd be unstoppable without. Be honest. This is a safe space for self-dragging and breakthroughs. Drop your comment below. I prepared a poster downloadable ready for all of you beautiful thinkers. Click the link on the video description below. We've reached our closing. If this episode resonated with you, and if you are ready to elevate your life, hit the subscribe button, like or share this to a friend or a family who needs to be a winner. Final section, the wake-up call. Here is the brutal truth. You are not doomed, but you are also not special. Your future is being built right now through repetition. Daily habits become identity. Identity becomes lifestyle. Lifestyle becomes destiny. That is the pattern. Most people want a new life without becoming a new person. Impossible. If you continue protecting weakness, weakness will define your future. But if you confront reality truthfully and honestly, everything changes. Because the moment you stop lying to yourself, you become dangerous, not to others, but to mediocrity, to excuses, to the version of yourself that wasted years asleep. The world does not need more distracted people. It needs disciplined people, aware people, people capable of self-control in a culture built on addiction. So ask yourself honestly, are you building your life or escaping it? Because deep down, you already know the answer. Thank you for stopping by at our Thinking Lab, where we just don't glow from the inside and out, but we grow beautifully. Until next time, this is Athena, and this is Thinking Lab. Think deeper. Live better.